All right, here we go. We got our recording going, and it is January 8th. Seems like we haven't been on here in like forever. The holidays kind of took its toll on our call schedule. But anyway, I don't know about you guys, but I had a great holiday and a great time off and reprieve and all of that good stuff. So I'm back and ready to get back with the program. And let's see here. There we go. It's taking me a minute to get my Zoom seems to be reconfiguring itself every time I log in. So now we're back in business. So I got some really cool stuff I've been working on that the holidays kind of gave me time to play, and it's very exciting what we've got going on. I know I talked about Optimancer a little bit. Some of you guys jumped in on it last year. That's funny saying last year when it was just a week ago. But last year, and Chris and I have it was great to get some of you in and start playing with the program and finding where the bugs were. And Chris and I spent the majority of all night last week on one of the nights just going through and fixing all the stuff that everyone had discovered was an issue. And it seems like it's pretty clean and ready to move forward. And we had talked about making an opt-in tool or lead magnet tool to give away a free report. For those of you that are not tuned into Optimancer or what it is, it's a program that's an analysis for websites to tell you if you're AI compatible or not. It's like for optimization. And it'll scan your website and it will give you a report basically telling you it's kind of like a pass or fail. So we always try and offer our software. Whenever we come up with software, we always try and offer it out as a white labelable thing for agencies or anybody that wants to offer services. That's a big thing to give you guys tools where you can actually make money by providing services. And this one's really cool because you really don't need any technical know-how to do this. You could offer the service to other people and be able to fix their websites and make them AI visible. I'll just call it that. It's optimizing a website to be visible in AI. And I don't know how in tune a lot of you are with the whole SEO world, but that's kind of where I came from. I grew up in the SEO space. As it developed, I was an integral piece of that, figuring out what to do and how to do it. And I did that for a lot of clients. And then in about 2010, I started training people how to do it themselves. And I put a lot of people in business. I did reseller training and not only taught them how to do SEO, but how to run the business, how to run an SEO business. And there's, I can't tell you how many people, but it's more than I can count on my fingers and toes that are in the SEO business or have been in it because of what I taught them how to do. And there's quite a number of them that have made well over $1 million doing it. Let's see, we got a bunch of more people here waiting to get admitted, so I'm going to bring them on in. Right. There we go. Bunch of new ones coming in.
Hey John,
Hello.
the last video from 1218?
Yes, thank you for reminding me about that. I did that video on the boat, and then apparently I forgot to upload it from the boat. So it's sitting on the boat, and I'm at my house right now.
Oh, okay.
So I am going to be going to the boat Saturday. So when I get down there, I will upload it for you.
Thank you very much. That was very good, and I really want to see it again.
Yeah, that was a great one, and I actually wanted to refer some people to watch that. And then when I got that message, I think it was from you, or it might have been from Janie passing the message through to me. But yeah, I looked and I'm like, oh shit, now I know clearly what happened.
It's fine. I mean, I can use it anytime. It's just don't forget.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that was a great recording.
Yes.
That I think for sure was the best one I've ever done as far as the year-end process.
Yeah, I keep looking at that scorecard and thinking about how to. Anyway, yeah, I thank you very much. It was very good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a very useful tool. And like I said in there, you don't have to wait till the end of the year to do that. You can do that exercise anytime you want. And I'm somebody that if I can do something once a year, I'm shelving it till the end of the year. But it's not really, in anybody's best interest to do that. You should always have a pretty good, just like a pretty good glance at your business, like what you're doing all the time. I learned long ago that I am not one for accounting. I am not one for budgeting. I am not one to be really good at pinching pennies and trying to make things fit into a box. I never have been. That's why school wasn't my thing. So I learned early on it's a lot easier for me to just be able to generate as much money whenever I want as, for whatever I want it for. So I cannot even imagine if I had a job and I had a certain amount of income coming in and that's all I had to work with. That would be horrifying for me because then I would have to do those things like budget, manage money, and all that stuff. Uh, but the freedom, the freedom that business brings to allow me to not have to do that shit is priceless. So that's why I'm always coming up with new stuff. There's always opportunity to make more and more money. And Optomancer, I got to tell you guys, this is probably the biggest opportunity tool I've ever put out. I was talking to Chris about it. We were brainstorming this months ago, and the next thing I know, he's got it. He actually got a big client. I think some of you were on the call and heard him talk about that. He got a client that was willing to pay him $60,000 to optimize his website. It was a large website, had a lot of pages. So Chris and I share that same laziness for not wanting to do repetitive tasks. So he being a programmer and having access to, he runs our whole programming team behind the scenes that develops Site Pop and, all of our underlying software. So instead of him having to, train somebody and do all this stuff, he actually sat down and developed that software. So that's where it came from. And when he showed it to me, I'm like, oh my God, this is absolutely beautiful. And then we sat down and we had a brainstorming session of, okay, how do we turn this into a white labelable software? And we just kind of worked through our normal process. And the next thing you know, we've got Optimancer. But like I said, I spent quite a bit of time with him last week going through, thanks to you guys that jumped in on it and discovered the bugs that were in the program. We actually worked through, I think we worked through all of them. I'm not sure if, there might be a few lurking that we haven't discovered yet, but the biggest one, and it was really frustrating because I couldn't figure out what it was because I didn't, I'm not a coder. Chris is the coding guy, so he's got to work out the code, the bugs in the code. But I was using it and I used it on like 5 different client sites and it went smooth as glass. Everyone I ran through the system, just boom, 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 right down the line. Then I went to do my own site, my Internet Dominator site, and I got a sync error. It wouldn't sync up, so it wouldn't pass the information through to my site. And it was really frustrating. I tried all the normal stuff that I would recommend for you guys to do, and nothing worked. And I know Travis is probably on here. He was experiencing the same thing. So that was one of the things when I sat down with Chris the other night. We actually went through it and he decoded the errors that my WordPress site was throwing in the backside in the MySQL section. Like I had no idea how to even get to that part. So he walked me through it. We discovered the errors and he's like, "Oh, I know where that is." And he went in and fixed it. So what he did was he developed a new WordPress plugin that has a longer timeout session. I loaded it up, put it into my site, reran the sync, and it worked. So that little bug got squashed. And I couldn't figure out. He was telling me, he goes, it doesn't have anything to do with how many pages is on the site. So that wasn't it. But anyway, we found it, fixed it, all that. The other thing, I really thought right from the beginning, one of the most important pieces of any marketing campaign or any product that you're ever going to try and sell is how do you generate leads, right? The lead magnet is key. If you don't have a lead magnet to draw people in to get them on your list so you can communicate with them, show them how whatever you've got works, show them how it's going to change their life, show them how it's going to, get them what they want, you're dead in the water. Remember from the year-end exercise, how many leads did you generate this year? If you're not generating leads, you're not advancing. You're not, I'm not going to say you're not making more sales because you can always sell to the same audience more, but you're not generating fresh blood. And a lesson to all of you is don't get comfortable. Let's say you've got 100 clients and 100 is all you need and you're stress free, you're working your freedom formula, all that stuff with 100 clients. You're going to have attrition. You're literally going to have attrition whether you like it or not and whether you do a spectacular job or not. You're going to lose people to one thing or another.
That sounds like a threat category thing. Or
It's very much a threat. It's very much a threat to your outcome. If you've got 100 customers and you start losing them to whatever, that is a threat to your stability. So you have to always be bringing new customers into your pipeline. And the only way you're going to do that is by generating leads. Like I said, if you're not generating leads, it's worse than being stagnant. You're actually moving back. You're losing ground. Every month you don't generate leads, you're losing traction. So my biggest thing, I'll tell you my biggest problem for how I lose customers is they die. And I can't control that. Like I don't know if you guys heard, but one of our members passed away on January 1st. It was Laurel Rolls. She's been a customer of mine for years. And I didn't lose her because I didn't do a good job. She just died. If you look back at my SEO clientele, I started SEO a long time ago, and I was much younger at that point, and my clients were all much older. These were old dudes in manufacturing businesses that aged me by 20 or 30 years. They had a lot of wisdom. I gleaned a tremendous amount of wisdom out of those old birds. But they get old, they die, and you have to replace them. So you can lose them to death, you can lose them to technology just as fast, if not faster. And this is where you got to be careful of what's going on right now. You have a massive threat of losing customers to technology. AI is here, whether you like it or not, whether you're afraid of it or not, whether you understand it or not, it is taking customers. So that's why Optimancer, when we developed this, I told Chris, I said, we need a really solid way to generate leads for this because this is just too good not to be able to promote. So he created a widget, and the widget is something that you can put on your site, and it's a tool. And I got to tell you, tools are great lead magnets. Giving away access to tools is one of the best things you could possibly do. And for those of you that know, his name is Neil Patel. I don't know if any of you have heard of him, but he is a very, very famous marketer, and he's in the SEO space. And I don't even want to say he was a competitor of mine because I could not hold a candle to this guy as far as getting new customers. I could beat his ass into the ground in SEO, but I could not touch him as far as getting customers and generating income because he had phenomenal tools that he gave away. He he's the one behind that Answer the Public website now. So Answer the Public is a great tool for people that are interested in AI because it gives you all the common questions people are asking around any topic. And that allows you to go in and create an FAQ for that. It's one of the ways you optimize for AI to get found in AI search is Q&A. So anyway, these tools, offering free tools for people that solve a problem is a great way to generate leads. That's what he always did. You would opt in to use his free tools online, and he had keyword generators. He had everything that people wanted if they were going to do SEO, and he would give it away for free. And he didn't even really try and sell any products behind it. His objective was to get 1 million opt-ins through his list and then figure out of those million who is ready, willing, and able to pay him ten to $100,000 a month to optimize their sites. Obviously, that's not very many, but he didn't need very many. If you're getting 100 grand a month, you don't need 1 million customers. You need maybe five, right? Five customers, and you got a $500,000 a month. Is that worth giving away some free software to 1 million people to get that? Hell yeah, it is. And that was his game. Very few people really understood his game and why he did what he did, how his operation worked behind the scenes. But that was his gig. He wanted to find the cream of the crop. And that's how he did it. He was not interested in the masses, but he used a mass operation to weed them out. That's called a funnel, by the way. A funnel, by its very means and nature, is it's a funnel shaped object that you drop a bunch of stuff into the top and a little bit squeezes out the bottom hole. That's why they call it a funnel. It's pouring a bunch of stuff in and then squeezing a little bit out the end. And that's exactly what he was doing, giving away free software. So that's what we have. That's what we have generated now for Optimancer to pour people through the top of the funnel and figure out who is your ideal customer and squeeze them out the bottom. And I was so excited uh, to get Chris to build this thing. And he finally got it for me last week, and I had a bunch of stuff that got in my way. And I was chomping at the bit to play with this thing. And I wanted to bring it on here and demonstrate it for you guys. I hadn't even used it yet, but I just knew what it did. And I was just desperate to demonstrate it for you guys on this call. And right up until like midnight last night, everything just got in my way. I didn't have a chance to even open the file and touch it. So I got in here this morning about an hour ago, about an hour before the call, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do it right now. So I did. I opened his file. I looked at the install guide. I'm not a programmer. Let's just get that straight. But I can understand, my background goes way back in hosting and web development and, all that stuff. So I know how the files work. I just can't, write them from scratch. So I had no problem figuring out what this thing was, how it worked, how to install it. And I installed it on my site. I went into Kartra real quick. It's not by any means polished, but I got a page up that I can demonstrate for you guys, and I want to show you what this thing does because it is phenomenal. And if you're in business to serve other businesses, this tool is going to knock your socks off, what it actually does. So I am going to share screen here and give you guys a little peek into this thing if I can find it. Let me see here. Give me just a second to figure out where I put it. Okay, there we go. All right, so here we go, sharing screen, and this is it. And this is a Kartra page. This is meant to be a thank you page. I have not built out the front page, which would be the lead generator page, but there'll be a page in front of this. And it's basically going to give them the big idea promise to find out how to unlock their website to get free traffic from AI. That's going to be the promise on the front end. Then they'll have to opt in to get access to a free tool that is going to tell them if their site is optimized for AI or not. And that's where, when they opt in, this is the landing page that will come up. So when this page comes up, the confetti pours from the sky, congratulates them. It says, you just got free access to the ultimate AI traffic tool. Find out if your website is visible to AI and unlock the power of free AI traffic now. And then here is the actual tool. And it says AI optimization checker. This is completely white labeled. It says, is your website optimized for AI search engines like ChatGPT, Cloud, and Grok, and many others? So I took Gregory. I know Gregory's on the call here today, so I used him as an example. He was actually one of the ones that I played with his site when I was developing my protocol for actually running Optimancer on a site. So he sent me an email the other day and he says, wow, I just noticed that all these FAQs are showing up on all my pages in my website. Well, that was Optimancer. I I did it from the bottom in, but Optimancer actually did the work. Optimancer went out, scanned his site, figured out what it was important to, and generated FAQs for every page and installed them, plugged them right in for him. It also did the LLM file and the schema codes and everything. So I went in here and I put in his site. I did the analyze my website, and then it gives you the optimization score. So for the moment, this stuff is not in. When I ran this, I just deactivated it so you could see, and it ran the check. So it says he's got a score of 26 out of 100. Critical immediate action needed. This is what you want to give to your customers. You want them to see they need immediate action if they want to get free traffic. So it checks, does it have an LLM file? And it gives you a pass or fail. Is the schema markup, is that correct? Pass or fail. Does it have FAQ content? Pass or fail. And then it checks a bunch of other stuff. This stuff is more critical to SEO, but the fact that it is compliant to SEO is also an important factor for AI. It's not critical like these three. These are critical. These are critical checks. These are just important checks. So it showed that his site was secure. It shows that it's got a robots.txt file, which tells the search engines what's important about the site. But then it says needs descriptions, needs title tags. Obviously, he's got title tags and descriptions in there, but they need improvement. The heading hierarchy, this is good. And then recommended checks. This gets down a little further into alt tags and contact information. And it shows here to build trust. Trust is an important factor in AI. And then canonical tags, he's got WordPress, so they take care of that. So that's all good to go. Now you can download this report if you want to send this to somebody. Notice it says powered by Internet Dominators. That's white labelable. You plug in your company name there. So when they come online and they see this and they run this report for their own website, they're going to see your branding. It's going to be on your site. It's going to have your branding. When they download that report, here's the actual report in a PDF that you could send them or they can download or whatever. But it's got their website, generic AI optimization report prepared by Internet Dominators. It's got their score. It's got basically everything that you saw. So they can download this and send it to their webmaster. So you're giving them the option to download this and let their webmaster know what the issues are so he can fix it for them. Now, that's kind of the key catch there. Most people don't have a webmaster. Most people don't know how to do this stuff. This is where this turns into a lead generator for you. So it's just that basic report. And then at the end, it says why AI optimization matters. This is giving them a little bit of an education on what's going to happen if they don't take care of this stuff, the opportunity, what's at stake. Tells them, it gives them a little detail about how AI sees their website and how it doesn't. Talks about the critical elements for AI visibility, telling them why it's important, and then the opportunity, about what can happen if they optimize their site. They're going to be getting visibility across a massive, massive database of people. So this is a pretty good lead gen. And then it's got next steps, and then it's got contact us. It's not blatant, it's not aggressive. It's just here's our information if you want to chat. And ready to optimize your AI search? Contact Internet Dominators to get started today. So all the stuff that says Internet Dominators would have your company name in it if you're using this as a lead generator. It's all branded to your company. Can you see how this might be easy to generate customers if you're giving them a free way to just check their website and see that it's all screwed up and they're never going to get AI searches? That's a pretty good lead magnet right there.
John,
Yes,
can you go back to the page before the congratulations to see what but yes, anyway, first to answer your question, yes, I definitely can see how this could be a lead magnet. I'm sorry I didn't answer that question. But I'd like to see like what is the verbiage or whatever that's going to even get them
that's
to,
that's the piece I don't have yet. I
oh,
literally just did this page an hour before the call.
okay,
Like I
okay,
started making this page at 10 o'clock this morning.
okay,
So the only thing I was able to get done was the actual thank you page, which when this loads, the confetti blows
okay.
and you can put in a website address.
Because that's the whole key. I mean, obviously, with any lead magnet, is how do you really get them to
Yeah.
take that next step?
So I will generate a page on the front end of this, a Kartra page, and it will have a Kartra opt-in. I've already created the opt-in box for it. I just haven't done the page yet. Because when it comes to the landing page to generate a lead, the most important thing there is going to be the big idea. I just haven't flushed out a big idea for this yet. I know the promise. The promise is to give them the ability to get free traffic and referrals from AI. That's a pretty big promise. Then you got to come up with a unique mechanism and then, the whole thing, the intriguing way to say it that they've never heard it before. So I will work that out. I'll work out a big idea, make the front end landing page for this, and then I'll have a Kartra template. So anybody that buys this in the white label section, if they buy the agency version of Optimancer, they're going to get that template. And if they don't have Kartra, all you'd have to do is just copy the stuff, from the text off the Kartra pages and put it in Go High Level or whatever your back end is.
Yeah.
So,
This is just my thought is that um just from what you showed us of here's what you'll get, um, and it's so much information that really a well done video on the front
Oh,
end
yes.
sounds like that would really be your better way to get people to move forward
Yeah.
instead of like having to read down some of the a lot of lead magnets have a whole lot of reading. And
Yeah.
I know I've purchased many of things that wasn't from a whole lot of reading. It
Yeah.
just, you know.
Yeah. No, the lead magnet page is going to have very minimal text on it. It's
Okay. Yeah.
basically it's either going to be just the big idea, which the big idea would be get free access to this tool to check their website. That's pretty simple. Simple text, simple call to action. Um, but you bring up a good point. Video works really well to get people to take action. So maybe
Mhm.
my big idea will be to watch the video to find out how to get people. And then the video will say, opt in below, get access to our free tool, run your
Mhm.
report, and away we go.
Right. This is everything you'll get,
Yes,
just free. Really, because
yes,
like you said, they're get this for free. Imagine getting
yes.
a whole report on everything you need to do. And,
Yep. Now notice the report was the generic report. It didn't tell them how to do anything.
right, right,
It
right.
just exposed their problems
Hmm.
and tells them, hey, contact your webmaster. He should know how to fix this for you.
Right.
Now, on the other side of this, in Kartra, what you're going to do is you're going to create a follow-up sequence to this. The follow-up sequence is going to invite them to a webinar or a presentation or something where you actually show them how the program works, how Optimancer works. Because here, they're not actually purchasing Optimancer. It's not even offered to them. All you're doing, your goal here is to create a problem. That's all the goal of this is to create a problem or make them aware that they have a problem. Most people aren't even aware. Remember, the biggest part of the pyramid of awareness is the base where they're unaware. That is your biggest opportunity. It also happens to be the longest path to a sale because you have to take them up the pyramid. You have to first make them aware. You have to make them aware of the problem. And then you have to make them aware of there is a solution. And then you have to make them aware of there is a product that will do it for you. And then you make them at the very top of the pyramid is where you make them the actual offer. So, and that's a reverse funnel. So what we're going to do is we're going to flip it upside down and we're going to pour a shitload of people in the top and let that funnel squeeze the ones out the bottom that are ready to pay you. That makes sense? So that's what this thing is made to do. This is just one piece of it. So you have one piece on the front that's the big idea to get them to take action to run their free report. This is the second piece where they actually run and discover their problem. The next thing is inviting them to a free presentation, a free webinar, a free master course, whatever you want to call it. But it's basically there to show them how to solve their problem. That's where you make your presentation. That's where you take them through those four stages of grab their attention, create demand and desire, eliminate their objections, and make them an offer. This should be a very short sales cycle. And I know it's the longest sales cycle possible in a scenario because you're starting at the base of the pyramid where they're unaware. But you can make them aware of their problem, aware of the solution, aware of the product, and aware of the offer in a matter of 10 minutes. This is not a complicated thing here.
Would you say those four statements just one more time? Because I like the way you phrase it.
So the four pieces of the presentation?
Yeah, like aware of the problem and then all the way up to aware of the offer.
Okay, so at the base of the pyramid, this is the pyramid of
Right.
awareness in the ACT
Mhm.
training. So the base of the pyramid, the first section is unaware. So your job there is to make them aware that they have a problem. You're shining a light on it. You're exposing them to the fact that they have a problem. Now, the next thing is just to make sure you take them out of the ether because you just threw them down a fire pit. Don't leave them there. It's not comfortable. Take them out as soon as you can. Let them know, hey, it's not that bad. There's a solution. We have technology on our side. We can solve this for you pretty easily. So now they're aware there's a solution. Next is you want to make them aware of the product that's going to solve the problem for them. So we went from unaware to aware of the problem, aware that there's a solution, aware that there is a product, and next we're going to take them up into there is an offer. So that's the pyramid of awareness.
Thanks. Yeah, I've got this a similar model. It's different wording and I like your words. So thanks.
Yeah, yeah. And for me, I just look at that as okay, well, let's flip it upside down and turn it into a funnel, and that's our presentation. So on the front end of that, we're going to have a big idea, get them to take the action, get them to become aware of their problem. Now, on the back end, after they've done that, you might think, oh, well, what's next? Well, now you've got them in Kartra or Go High Level or whatever system that you've got. Maybe you've got Confusionsoft, maybe you got Ontraport, whatever. Doesn't matter. The next job now is to trickle out information that they're going to need. Again, like I said, take them out of the ether. You just put them in a fire. So you might want to give them an extinguisher. So let them know we're doing a free master class or I recorded a video. I would love to share it with you and it'll walk you through how to fix this stuff. Maybe you don't have a webmaster. Maybe your webmaster needs help. Maybe he's not aware of this stuff, so we can help him. You don't have to be tech savvy. Now, when you say that particular statement, this is not going to require tech on your part in any way, shape, or form. You just eliminated one of the biggest objections, right? Because that's going to be an objection. If you don't eliminate and stomp that objection out before you make an offer, you're going to fail. Plain and simple. So that's what you do. That's part of the presentation. Grab attention, create demand and desire, eliminate objections, and make your offer. This is a simple deal. You can do that pretty quickly. So that's the idea. Drop them in, you get them to opt in. Now you can give them a follow-up sequence. This is like, in the old days, we called this an autoresponder. It's going to trickle out information. So what you might want to do is first, congratulate them for taking the first step and discovering that they probably have a problem. And then you want to introduce them to the idea that there's a solution and invite them to something that will help. You're going to give them another free thing. A good idea is, hey, I created a video just for you to walk you through what to do with this report. how to pass it through, how to tell your webmaster what you need to do. Or if you don't have a webmaster, I'll give you another solution in the video. So you're addressing all that right up front. So now they watch the video. The video, basically, your video is going to pre pre-approve them, so to speak. It's going to go through and it's going to weed out the ones you don't want. Because here's the thing. I don't care what you're doing. Not everyone's your ideal customer. There are some people out there that will eat you alive if you take them on as a customer. You don't want to do that. You want to set parameters in your business to keep your life as simple as possible. So you want to identify and eliminate the problems. You don't want to take them on as a customer. I'm going to refer to this as a smash and grab. This is a smash and grab scenario to bring new customers into your business. Now, some of you know a little bit more about Optimancer of what it actually is. It's a WordPress plugin behind the scenes that you plug into a WordPress site and it solves those three major issues. It creates the LLM file and installs it automatically with no tech required. It creates the FAQs, installs them on the site with little to no tech required. You have to put the little plugin thing on the footer of the page in WordPress. I can show you how to do that. If you have any kind of technical abilities whatsoever, it's a piece of cake.
Yep.
If you don't, then that's where you can offer the service. But either way, you're offering to solve the problem for them by giving them this WordPress plugin. You're going to charge them monthly for it. And you can charge them if they want you to install it and do everything for them, a complete done for you service. Then you charge them a setup fee on the front and then a monthly recurring to keep providing the service for them. So that's the business model. It's a recurring revenue business model to offer optimization for AI to a webmaster. So right out of the gate, we don't really want to take on customers that don't have WordPress because we don't have a way to automate it. And I don't want you to take on customers that are going to be a pain in your ass. And if you take on a customer that you can't automate it, that's going to be a pain in your ass. I learned a long time ago not to take in people that I didn't have a process and people in place to fulfill. I have all kinds of people on a daily basis that want me to do shit for them that I don't have people in place or processes to do. And as appealing as it is, I know a lot of you guys are people pleasers. You want to say yes to everybody. It will eat you alive if you do. Your best option is if you get enough people asking for the same thing, just go ahead and find an affiliate. Go find a provider for that, pass them through and get paid. Don't jump in the middle and try and do it all. Again, you'll get eaten alive. Your freedom will go right out the window. It's like that 80-20 rule. 80% of your income is going to come from 20% of your efforts. And if you can eliminate the 80% of the pains in your ass that only bring in 20% of your income, it gives you so much more time to focus on the other portion. It's going to take your sales and explode them through the roof. I guarantee it. Don't take on people that just want you to do stuff you don't specialize in. You know, I get it that if you're just getting started and you're trying to pay your mortgage or what have you, that's a much more appealing thing. Just take anybody for anything as long as I can generate income and pay my bills. I get it. But it's not a way to build a long-term scalable business. And this is a way for a smash and grab for you. Literally just take the ones. You'll have enough of them that you'll be able to turn away the ones you don't want. And I also figured out a way to possibly sell them something on the way out the door. So if they qualify, if they pre-qualify that they have a WordPress site and they want you to do this for them, you take them on as a customer. You charge them that fee up front, and then you charge them the monthly recurring. Done deal, smash and grab. Easy, fast money, recurring on a monthly basis. That is a dream come true. Let's say you get the guy that doesn't have a WordPress site. Not a problem. We can generate a detailed report on the back end and give his webmaster access to it for X amount. Maybe we charge him 500 or 1,000 bucks for the blueprint. We're not offering to do it for him. We're just going to give them the detailed blueprint for how to get their webmaster to do it. We're offering them the supply of the training, not the done for you, because there's no way to automate it. It's like when Chris got that job, even for 60 grand, it wasn't worth his time to do it. He wanted to create software that would do the process for him and the process of training whoever was going to do it. So that's what happens in the back end of Optimancer is all of that stuff is generated for you in highly, highly detailed reports. Those reports are not free. Those reports are generated for a paying customer that wants to pay you for the blueprint for how to fix it so he can pass it to his team and take advantage of this. So you see, they're both smash and grabs. The thing that will eat you alive is if you start trying to take on people that are outside that template, outside that cookie cutter. They're going to chew you up and spit you out. Guaranteed. It's just not worth it. If you were a high-end SEO guy and had all the tech savvy in the world, that would be a different story. Maybe you want those people. You just want to charge them a bunch of money and go in and do that work for them. But I don't think there's anyone on here that fits that bill. So steer clear of it. I fit the bill and I won't even touch it. So that should tell you something. I want no part of that part of the business. So that's basically what we got going. And I think it's the most foolproof system that we'll ever have put out and probably that we ever will put out. So Pam, go ahead.
Yeah, hey, I would really like to get the widget part of that, and then
Okay.
when I find the person, buy into the Optimancer part of that. Is that an option at all? Because I'll put stuff out there and I'll hear nothing from anybody, but I'll pay for the widget part just in case, and then I would come back and pay for the Optimancer part when somebody goes, yes, they get the
Gotcha.
report, they're ready, that kind of thing. Is that in the realm of
Gotcha.
possibilities whatsoever?
Well, the widget part is really just for the agency models.
Okay,
That's what it's made for. As far as the widget itself, I can take you guys into see how simple this actually is. It's really pretty basic. So in Kartra, this is my actual Kartra page, and notice this is the widget here. If I click on it and I go to edit, this is the code. This is the widget code here, and this is where you put in powered by Internet Dominators. You can change the button text. You can manually change any of the text in here or the contact information. And then it shows where the actual widget is sitting on my server to access it to do all of this. So that is plugged in, and you can plug that into any page. It doesn't have to be a Kartra page. It could be a WordPress page. It could be a Go High Level page. As long as you have access to the code, you can drop that in. It's just like putting the widget code for a button on your website. And you can
awesome. Thank you so much.
literally drop that on any page. So
And I gotta run. Thank you.
I just put it on here on the thank you page so they opt in first, then they run the report, and then I follow up with them to sell them the system. or sell them the report or sell them, the easiest thing for me to sell them with the least amount of work attached to it. So, Richard, go ahead.
Hello, John. This is spectacular. This is what we've been waiting for. Um, the uh, the sequence of events, the landing page you said you didn't have yet, and you're going to do a Kartra thing for that. That's really great.
Yep.
Lands on the page. You just answered my question because as much as I prefer, like you do, the AI optimization, nobody calls it that anymore. For some reason, they like it answer engine optimization. And if it says AI optimization, well, this isn't for an answer engine. So I don't want to have to even have that conversation. So you just show me
Yeah.
where I can edit that and change the title on that. So that's
Yep.
really, really important.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. You can change it to market however you want.
yeah, that's the well. If I can go in there and change the code, then I can do whatever I want. I can say
Yep.
howdy doody if you want. But so when
Yeah.
when the report page comes up, it looks like that report page now, and this was a really bee in my bonnet. The previous reports didn't print out on pages or whatever, and you're on page 10 and it said page 4. And I mean, it was really awful. Does it actually print out the way it looks like on that page? Because it looks like it's 1,000% better and really clean. I really
Yeah.
like the look of that.
Yeah. It's just a basic clean PDF. If you wanted to print it on paper, you could do that.
Okay, so then I'm going to guess then when it says download, that's where the pop-up's going to come up to say, where would you like me to send it to you rather than
Correct.
actually have them print it out from the page so you aren't capturing anything because that's not
Correct.
desirable. Okay.
That is correct. That's why it's on the thank you page.
Okay, and then after from when you click the button, get their email, then that takes you to the thank you page, which is where you were talking about
Correct.
emails, our videos and stuff. I call that a shock and awe page because that's where you put testimonials and
Yeah.
videos, and you can put all kinds of stuff in the I want to keep them there till they get tired, so they aren't going to go off looking for something else to do. So
Yes.
that makes it important. That's where the video would go. And then the last thing is that is there a way of you can modify the widget copy? Is there any way to modify the copy that is in that report, or is the report copy fixed as well?
The report copy is fixed. It's drawing in the personalization from what you put into the widget code. So it's going to pull in your contact information. If you wanted to, you can add content there that will pull it in. Like if you wanted a link, you could put a link code in there.
Oh, I was going to actually have that be part, and there's going to be it's going to be a longer report than just that little bit. There's going to be the written report for the people that like to read, as well as the
Yeah.
video portion of that. But the reason I'm asking is because on the landing page and on the fill out the page, it says AI optimization. If I change that to AE optimization, I want the report to also say AE optimization, not just say AI optimization. There's consistency issues there,
Yeah.
in which case I would not want to change the landing page if the report can't be the same.
Yeah. Well, the report currently is set. The only thing that customizes is what's in what's in your customization of the code on the Java code. But that said, this is just your initial lead magnet. You can start following up immediately. You can say, optimizing for AI means we're optimizing for answer engines. You can immediately go into changing the track right out of the gate.
Yeah, well, I just need knowing that I need to do that. That's okay. I'm writing the scripts right now, so I need to make
Yeah.
sure that it
Yeah.
goes that way. So
I didn't want to make this complicated and I didn't want Chris to take more than the night that we took to do all of this. Because you know how that gets when you get into coding. Oh, well, can we make this editable? That might throw a month onto it. I didn't want a month thrown onto it. I'm like, knock this shit out, you know. And he was talking about, integrating it into their CRM. And I'm like, oh, no, 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 no fucking way we're getting into that. I'm going
yeah,
to show
this
them.
is spectacular. This is spectacular, John. It's you've nailed it right. You've hit absolute perfect that minimum viable product. Now the
Yeah,
next step that you and I talked about privately, and can I talk about site pop here for a second?
sure,
Is that okay? Okay.
sure.
Because one of the things you let me peek behind the curtain on our call, is that you have now made Site Pop so it can talk to the answer engines if you're going to Google, because Google now is an answer engine. They've integrated their Gemini 3 is what you Google now. You don't Google a search box, you Google Gemini 3, and so it is a search engine. So if SitePop can now go say, oh, okay, I like the best pizza locally, and it shows Bob's, but I'm Bill's. I said, well, I like Bill's. Go to Bill. You said the next question. Well, why don't you like Bill's? Here's the website. Go look at it. And then if it comes back and says, oh, well, this is why I don't like Bill's, then you said the last question, you say, okay, well, tell me how to make Bill's so that it's better than Bob's, and it will give you the checklist for all that stuff.
Yeah.
How often does it run that test? Because you don't want, because SitePop does 17 searches a day, and you don't want it asking the engine 17 times, what it needs to be done. Does that only check that particular aspect of the answer engine responses once a month or once a week, or how is
Well,
that regulated, or is it even regulated? Does it need to be regulated?
it probably doesn't need to be overthought like that. Each
Okay.
one, like the thing with SitePop is everything it does is randomized. So even the fact that it's going to run that search 17 times, it's always going to be in a different manner. Like one might say, who's the best pizza parlor in New York City? Another one might say, hey, I'm visiting New York City next week and I'm interested in pizza. Do you have any recommendations? You see how that's two totally different things. And with AI, we can extrapolate an unlimited number of options to start that search and even how to carry it through. And it's going to be an interactive display back and forth.
Yeah, this is so spectacular, John. I've done some really deep research because I want to really understand who's out there talking about AI optimization. And there is nobody out there saying, giving anything other than opinions and what they think and go figure out how to do it. When we say, first off, we have the tool that will do it for you right there. You're in a class by yourself. And then how you blow that out of the water. Oh, yeah. And if your site isn't good, we can also tell you what you need to do to fix it, which nobody
Yeah.
else can do that as well. So this thing is just gold pressed latinum, as they say in Star Trek. This is so spectacular, guys. This is
Yeah, and
wow.
AI is paying attention a lot more to the bigger sites out there, the big sites with social media, because it's extrapolating massive amounts of opinionated data, which is how it's going to ultimately make a recommendation on something is based on what everyone collectively says. So, with that in mind, we went into the AIO Dominator and created a few extra tools in here. Like you'll see, there's an Insta boost, there's a Facebook boost, there's a LinkedIn and YouTube. And what those are for, those are to create AI friendly content for those sites that are going to be just glommed upon. We're working on one also for Reddit because Reddit is huge in AI. AI is all over Reddit to get opinions and things. So
Instagram is also another big one.
yeah, Insta, we already have that tool up.
Okay.
So anybody that's got the AIO Dominator program, those tools are now available in your control panel right now. So if you need to generate content to post out on your accounts or your clients' accounts, it's already in the gun. It's loaded, cocked, and ready. So I've been busy over the last couple of weeks while I was maybe not making any noise, but I was certainly my feet were moving. So Arba, go ahead.
Okay, so what would be my option if I personally am not trying to sell Optimancer, but I have people, I know I have a lot of clients that are in that space, then what's my option?
So if you want to just do referral through the affiliate program, you can make ongoing money as long as they're paying us, you're getting paid.
So in my Kartra affiliate links, there's something for Optimancer.
Yes. Yep, it's already in there.
Okay.
So if you just want to say, hey, I came across this really cool program, I think you should be interested in it. You might want to take a look at this. You can just use your affiliate link, send them through. If they buy, you get credit, you get paid.
I will add that right now.
And that's as hands off as I can make it for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So really, really cool stuff. The other thing that we've been working on is any of you guys that have the white label to Quantum. The Quantum white label has a lot of updates on the back end. Like we have updated the engines that are generating the stuff, and if you're building your own tools, the level of intensity in the tools just went through the roof because we added vibe coding into the mix. So when you're creating your tools, you can actually vibe code them into existence, which is phenomenal. If you log into your Quantum account, you'll notice there's some new tools in there for creating webinars, creating VSLs, and creating landing pages. Those new tools were made with the vibe coding in the back end in God mode. And it was so easy. Like I've been building the tools and in the white label when I do the white label seminars, um, I've been showing people how I do the tools, how I actually build the tools using Perplexity and generate the code for them and all that. Without knowing code and without writing code. I lean on Perplexity to do all that for me and then just plug it into the white label. But now that we've got the vibe coding built right into the white label, I literally just went in there and I gave it like probably a paragraph, a short paragraph saying I want a tool that will generate a webinar based on a certain product. I want you to use advanced techniques from all the top people that build webinar sequences. I just basically that's what I said. That was the prompt. And it spit this thing out. I was like, "Holy shit. You've got to be kidding me." It was amazing. It had input fields, a bunch of input fields. And one of the input fields I noticed, I'm like, I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what it's asking. And then another field was it was a sliding scale to set the time of how long you want your webinar to be. And it went from like an hour to 6 hours. And I'm like, well, that's not really what I had in mind. So I went back to the vibe code box and I said, you have an input field here that I'm an expert marketer and I don't even know how to answer this. So I think that's going to be problematic. And also, you've got the sliding scale for length of time on the webinar, 1 to 6 hours. I don't know anybody that's going to do a 6 hour webinar. So I put that in, it came back and it says, oh, yeah, you're right. I don't know what I was thinking. Let me fix that. So it removed that field that I didn't know what it was. And then it said a more appropriate time for a webinar would be 10 minutes to 60 minutes. So it updated the slider. I'm like, oh my God, this thing is beautiful. And then I actually filled out the form and generated a webinar. And it just absolutely blew my mind how good it was. It used every technique I've ever heard of and just plugged it in a matter of seconds. So for that is another opportunity. Any of you guys that need a product and you want to be a software developer, AI software, and have your own suite of tools for any industry you want. You could make a suite of tools for therapists. You can make a suite of tools for NLP practitioners. You could make a suite of tools for any industry. It's just phenomenal. The opportunity.
That's where they're saying the market is going, John, by the way,
Yeah.
is very, very narrow uh applications that are very, 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 very niche specific. And if you can do that in the quantum and then just box up those tools so they aren't getting everything. They're just you just have little
Yeah.
boxes and you sell each of those things individually. Those are the hot tickets.
Yeah.
Those are right now the kindling has been lit on those things. Those are going to be fire here in the next 3 to 6 months. They're going to be huge. So that's another huge opportunity in there.
Yeah. And I mean, you can go into Grok or Chat GPT or Perplexity or whatever your flavor of choice is this week and just ask it. Say, I'm in this industry. I'm interested in making a set of GPT tools that would be very helpful to the people that are struggling in this industry. Can you give me a list of the top 10 tools you'd recommend that I build? And it'll just dump you a list. Then you go into God mode and you start vibe coding, and all of a sudden, by the end of the day, you got your 10 tools and you're ready to make money. It's like the time frame to put out a minimally viable product now. It went from months, if not quarters, down to days, if not hours. It's like unbelievable. So this is another thing that I'm going to do a lot more of here in the first couple of quarters of this year is I'm going to open up more live seminars to people, like small groups of people, like 4 to 6 people that basically, for lack of a better word, want me to build their white label for them. Like what Jerry came out for just recently. I just did all the stuff in the back end to make it easy. I didn't want to like put them through a training program of how to do something once they'd never do again in their life. When I can just go do that for them and take that pain away and let them, run with a product ready to sell. That's basically what I want to do quite a bit more of, in the beginning of this year and possibly through the year. It depends on what happens with the rest of the world. XRP might change my mind, but for now, I'm going to, make myself available to anybody at that high level to get that stuff done for them. So Travis, go ahead, Travis.
Unmute. Hey, what's going on, John? How you doing?
Good,
Um,
good.
I got a question for you. You think I could share my screen real quick?
Yeah, do you still have the sync issue?
Sync issue. Oh, well, so I'm not sure. So I was under the impression that Optimancer was actually spidering our pages like a web crawler. But what I think is actually happening is Optimancer takes the sitemap, and if you don't have a sitemap, I don't think it's actually crawling the links on your site.
Oh no,
Uh,
it is crawling the site. It does
Interesting.
does not require a sitemap at all.
I
We
could not get it
did,
to crawl the site. Now that might be a disruption in my link tree. I mean, I might have pages that are just orphaned and not able to be linked to. Um,
that's a possibility, and also there's a possibility you may have I don't know if you're with Cloudflare or not, but Cloudflare is notorious for blocking spidering.
yeah, I actually went in with Chris and whitelisted your IP address in my Cloudflare security rule, so
Okay,
that
okay.
should be functioning correctly. I'm refreshing my Optimancer thing now. Hold on, let me try to share my screen if I can here.
Because did you get the new plugin? Chris and I just developed a new plugin this week.
Have
And
not have not updated yet.
okay, so that's probably going to fix your problem if it has to do with the with syncing the site up.
Got it. Okay, so while Optimancer is sort of loading here in the background, I want to show you something that I built. This is an
Okay.
old page. This is my staging site here. So on a lot of my page, can you see my screen by the way?
Yep. Yep.
On a lot of my pages, it's basically a headline, subheadline, and a video. This happens to be a
Okay.
landing page. I'm actually testing out a YouTube page here just to see what my function builds. But there's no written text. So there's really nothing other than the meta tags potentially, which would be generated based on the page title and or the headline for it to go off of. So I built the thing where down here at the very bottom of the page, it actually transcribes the video or it pulls the caption file. If there's a YouTube video on the page, it'll also pull like the top 100 most relevant YouTube comments. So there's actually some written content on the page for Optimancer to use to potentially generate, I don't know, whatever the thing is about. Because obviously otherwise there's nothing here. Can't tell what the video
Okay.
is about.
So I think I'm already on to the problem.
Okay.
So does that link go to YouTube?
This link here?
The link that you were talking about that shows the transcription?
No, in fact, this actually hard codes the transcription in the HTML with the comments as a,
Okay, okay. That was my concern because if the link goes off the site, off the domain to a different domain, that could be an
nope.
issue.
No,
Okay.
I mean you can literally see it as a big old text block in the page source, which I'm not going to sit there
Okay.
with
Then
the
it should be fine. That should be
yeah.
able to read that no problem.
My question for you is I'm not trying to like hide this. Part of the problem is, okay, this is my nice updated footer. I got 700 pages on my site with some garbage footer where I can't just easily throw in the short code that generates this thing. So I'm trying to find essentially like an SEO friendly way to structure this data. So one of the things that Gemini was telling me was that we could throw this in a summary tag. It's an SEO friendly summary tag. I guess my question is, if I end up putting this thing as this little light box pop up underneath a copyright footer, the same color as the copyright footer, is this something that could potentially penalize me, so to speak, from a Google?
Yeah, yeah. You don't want to do that. You do not want to have hidden links with the same color background and the same text. That
Not
is,
ghost text. Like for example, you see my copyright text right here. So
yeah.
it's there, it's visible, it's a light gray. But like this right here, I don't want this where it's like a neon orange hyperlink. Like this thing, it needs no human interaction whatsoever. It's just there purely for the function of being able to tell a robot what the page is about.
So I have a great solution for that.
Okay.
And this one, you may remember this back from 20 years ago when I first taught this. It's called the Phantom GIF.
The Phantom GIF.
Do you
Okay.
remember? You remember the Phantom?
1 pixel GIF or
It's a one pixel, one by one pixel, clear, transparent GIF that you can drop anywhere on the page and you can put a hot link to it. It's just like linking an image. You put alt text to it. You can put, whatever you want as far as alt text. No one will ever see it. The chances of them getting their cursor over a one by one pixel somewhere on the page is almost nil,
right.
but the search engine will find it, spider it, and get that content.
Interesting.
And they can't tell that they don't know what the image is because they can't tell it's, going to be clear on clear or whatever.
Well, that seems a little bit sneakier than what I'm doing here. And in this case, this is actually in a summary tag, which from what I understand is SEO friendly in some way.
Yeah. Well, the Phantom GIF is SEO friendly as well because you can drop all that text into the tag right in the GIF.
Well, I've already developed this, John, so don't make me regret it. Is this
I'm
going
just
like
giving you an option.
there's nothing that's gonna penalize me about this, right? Like
Your
this isn't
your
cheap practice.
your problem here is with another person that's optimizing that's going to try and beat you. This is very easy for them to figure out what you did.
You know, I don't care that much. I honestly have no
Okay.
idea if Optimancer is ever going to result in a single lead to a million of these dead pages that I'm just trying for whatever reason to generate some kind of relevant. The way I see it is maybe now if Google spiders my site and they all of a sudden see like 400 pages that were essentially blank before, but now they actually have relevant content, maybe it'll boost up my site's relevancy
Yeah.
rating or
Well,
something like that. I'm
well,
not worried about competing or.
yeah, that's the cool thing about this. When you're optimizing for AI, you're optimizing for search as well.
Right.
The two go hand in hand. So anything at all that you do for one side or the other is going to give you a better chance at the opposite one.
Right. Right. Um,
There's no reason not to do, uh, any of this stuff.
damn, I'm still loading the dashboard, huh? Uh, well, okay. All right, so I'm gonna take your response to be that sure, maybe people can figure this out and potentially do
It,
the same thing that I'm doing, but at the end of the day,
and
it's at
there,
least some written content on the page that will boost
yeah, yeah.
the robots an idea.
There is a plugin, there's a free WordPress plugin called Headers and Footers,
Yeah.
and you can put that in and you can put your widget code globally on the footer of every page.
I've been trying I tried to do that and Optimized Press does not like trying to
Uh,
load. I mean, unless maybe I could drop it. I actually have that header and footer plugin.
okay.
Let me see if I can actually drop the short code in there and give that plugin access to modify front end styles and scripts because there's sort of a complicated dance that Optimized Press has to do in order to be able to load
Yeah,
like internal JS and internal CSS. But I'll
yeah.
try it. I mean, that definitely is better than me slaughtering my post meta table over and over, trying to like swap out this global element for, an element that I made a while ago that I structured incorrectly due to naivety. Um, Needless to say, this link is going to be on the very bottom of every page. If there is a YouTube video, if there's a Vimeo video, it pulls the transcript via API quite easily. YouTube,
Okay.
I'm still trying to figure the transcript side of things out because it hides certain stuff with API, but I'm able to get the comments.
Yeah.
So
Now,
comments will be there,
I
but not transcription.
I will tell you something about this. If you want this really to work specifically for Google, Google has a particular patent and it's got a funky name, but I renamed it for the sake of calling it what it is. And it's a patent specific to the ranking factor based on the likelihood of a click. And what that means is the more likely someone is to click on a link, the more power it's going to have, the more weight it's going to bear in SEO factors.
Okay.
So some things that could give you more power, the likelihood of a click, if it's underlined and colorized, goes through the roof.
Hmm.
The likelihood of a click, if it's bolded, goes through the roof. The likelihood of a click, if it's higher on the page versus buried in the footer, goes through the roof.
But
So
this
if
is
you,
sort of what it sounds to me like you're suggesting is almost like the link juice, so to speak.
yes,
The passing of the link juice.
yes, the internal link juice.
Yeah,
And the,
this isn't really a link juice thing. It's just a way, like instead of just putting this huge blob of text on the very bottom of my page, I have a way to hide it so that it's neat, but it still appears in the page source. So it's not the function of this isn't really to pass the link juice. It's just to say when Optimancer is crawling my site, it's really just to be like, yo, dude, this is what this lesson is about. I never wrote a single word, but if you look at this transcript, now you can maybe generate an FAQ based on
well,
it.
Optimancer doesn't need, that's an internal link to that page, right? That's just a link to show content that's in the HTML of that page.
Yeah, exactly.
Op-
It's just a light box
So Optimancer doesn't need a link for that. Optimancer is going to find it's going to scan all the copy of that page
in
without
the
that
page
link.
source or.
Yeah, it's going to, that's how the site is crawled. It's crawled through the HTML.
Well, I mean, either way, this is a way for me to basically hide stuff in the page source
Sure,
so that it can be found. I guess is
sure.
the long and the short of it.
Yeah,
I
Um,
yeah.
have a silly question, along the lines of this, that because I do a lot with videos on YouTube and Vimeo, and I thought videos now have their own, is it a SRT code or something where you can download transcripts from videos. So aren't videos now, aren't, isn't the transcript now encoded in the video code?
it is, and it's accessible if you have the API. For example, with the Vimeo video here, I had absolutely no issue pulling that. With
Okay.
YouTube, they control what things you can or cannot download or read via the API. So I can access the comments, but I could not access that SRT file.
Okay.
Okay, because most of my stuff is on Vimeo anyhow. So
Uh,
until Optimancer is built to also automatically pull any SRT files or load any SRT files via whatever video links are on the page, I took it upon myself to just build this out so that I'd have
okay.
something
So I
on.
wasn't that far off with.
Yeah, no, you're on point. In fact, it's the SRT file that I got that
Okay.
video text from. So
Okay.
that's yeah, you're
Yeah.
definitely right on.
You could talk to Chris about that. He's going to know what's possible and what's not with the APIs and pulling and all that.
Oh, he
But
liked that idea. It just seems like he's got his hands full right now.
yeah, but the problem that I can see with that is it's not about what Optimancer can see or not see. It's what the search engine can see or not see, or the AI engine can see or not see. And Chris developed this to spider and scan and look at it as an AI engine is going to do.
Okay.
So if we're telling it to do stuff outside of that, it might not be as helpful. In fact, it might be more deceitful. It might not work as well. Because right now, the beauty of Optimancer is it's showing you what the other side is going to see and what it's not going to see. And that helps you in understanding, oh, okay, I need to fix that. Like when it ran the scan on my site, my Internet Dominator site, I cleaned it up a while back. And I know for sure there's no more than like 50 pages on that site if you include the blog posts. Maybe 75, but it's under 100. And when Optimancer ran it, it came up with like 450 pages. And I'm like, what the hell is this? And it really opened my eyes to the way that the AI engines are looking at that site. I had a WordPress plugin in there that would create tags, and it saw every tag as an actual page because it was linking, it was interlinked.
Oh, like a weird taxonomy issue.
Yeah, so it was counting that. And I'm like, holy shit. It really gave me a different perspective into the way my site is viewed from the AI engines.
Yeah, you got to exclude that kind of stuff from like the sitemap and whatever. I'm
Yeah.
going through that myself right now. When Optimancer was only scanning 167 pages, I started looking at the sitemap, and there's all kinds of garbage.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's all kinds of broken links and pages that don't exist anymore. And, all that stuff really needs to be attended to.
So okay, it looks to me well. All right, and now where do I see how many pages were scanned here? Initial scan 100%. I click this.
Yeah. If you click that, it'll show you all the pages.
All right, because I ran this after I updated the site map and confirmed that there was, literally 1,000 pages on there. I guess what I can do is I could add my staging site to this now that I have this whole plugin built, and I can take a look at a couple of pages that have the video transcription on there, but nothing else on there, and see if there's a difference in what Optimancer kicks back, and then we can know for sure sort of whether or not that helped at all.
Hmm.
I mean, I can't imagine I can't imagine that anyone would think that or the search engines would think I'm hiding anything, so to speak. Like it's not ghost text. It
Yeah,
is
I know
literally,
that
it literally
that
says here's a transcript for the videos on this page. So it's
yeah.
trying to be as transparent as possible.
Yeah, I can tell you for sure that ghost text is on their radar and it is looked for and it is actively swatted when it's found. So you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But like I said, if you want something that is not on their radar, the Phantom GIF, I created that thing like damn near 30 years ago because I could see what all the SEO guys were doing and I'm like, "Oh, that's going to get shot down." I
Mm,
can I can do that where it's undetectable.
right.
And it's funny how so few people caught on to it. The only people I ever saw use it was the people I told to use it.
Hmm. All right. Well, I think what I'm hearing is that this is probably okay.
Yeah, yeah, I think you're fine.
All right.
I
All
think
right.
you
Well, if anybody else has any questions, feel free to jump in. If I can manage to load this analysis, I'll raise my hand again.
Okay. Mike, go ahead.
it works better if I turn the sound on. Hey,
Yeah, there
Don,
you
how's it going? Good to see you, man.
go. Yeah, you too.
Hey, let me give you a quick update on what I've been doing. I'll tell you what, when you're going through this stuff, it's making me have like that FOMO where it's like, oh man, this sounds so good. I ought to be I ought to be selling, AI optimization. But I know we've talked and you said, no, 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 stick to your lane, man. There is value there. There is profit there. So
Well, just like what Arba said, she's got her thing going on and this looks great to her, but if that's the case, just push it out as an affiliate.
uh-huh.
All you do at that point is you just become a spokesperson. You just say, "Hey, I know this guy. He's got this really cool thing. I think it would help you,"
Yeah.
and give him a link. It's complete hands-off income.
That's a good point. Like people that I know that are looking for either a side hustle or they want a new way to make money, like this could be a good recommendation for them. That's a good point.
Oh yeah. I mean, you get them into this and then they'll get sold on the ACT program and everything
Right.
they buy from me, you're making money every month.
Right, right. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Good. Good
I
point.
think even better though, you really this seems like this is something for if you know people that were in the SEO space and they're
Right.
still
Specifically. Yeah,
behind and they're
yeah.
still doing old SEO tactics, then this is who you want to try to
That's what I'm
offer this
thinking
to.
of.
For
Yeah.
somebody who is like really would be better selling scented candles, you don't want to try to
Gotcha.
give them an
Okay.
affiliate link. They're not going to
Okay.
get
Okay.
it.
Good. 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 Thanks. Thanks for that. Yeah. So what I've been getting into is I joined a marketing program for coaches. And so I'm doing that, and I am about to launch a webinar to promote a new coaching program specifically targeted to law students who are taking the bar exam. And I'm thinking I probably want to actually target people who are retaking, who failed before and retaking it, and
Oh yeah.
helping them perform better, study better, get rid of exam anxiety and pass the bar. So that's the niche that I'm about to try out. And I did go on to quantum, and I did market segmentation, which I was very impressed with. And I did some
Yeah.
buyer profiles, which really helped out. And I'm just actually like right now, even as this Zoom class is going on, I'm going on and about to ask your name it for the name because I came up with a name, but I'm seeing if there's something better. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I just wanted to let you know that's what I'm doing right now. And if you have, I don't have a specific question, but I'm very open to any thoughts you might have about, oh no, Mike, here's what you ought to be doing, or consider this.
Yeah, no, totally on the right track. I mean, any of
Oh,
those
cool.
tools inside quantum are going to help you sharpen your sword. I would
Hmm.
I would be really particularly interested to have you test out the new webinar tool. Like
Okay, so
go
yeah.
into quantum in the webinar tool, and you said you needed to create a webinar.
Oh,
Let
I've drafted it. I've done that. I just haven't recorded it yet. Yeah.
Okay, well, I would be curious to have you go in and have Quantum create the webinar for you and see
Uh-huh.
how it compares to what you have.
Okay, see, I looked at that, but it looked different from the other tools in Quantum, and I kind of looked at it and I'm like, I don't know what to make of this, so I just skipped it.
Yeah,
And
there's a lot of fields to fill out,
uh-huh.
but I would give that a shot and see what it comes up with. It might blow your mind, the
Okay.
the content that it comes up with to do the webinar.
Okay.
Because
Okay. So
that's what it's doing. It's writing out a webinar script for you. You might already have one done, but I'd be particularly interested to see what it comes up with versus
okay.
what you came up with.
Okay. Okay, good. I will do that then. Thank you for letting me know about that because like I said, I looked at it, but I was like, I don't know, there was something about it that I was just like it I couldn't
Well,
make heads or
there's a
tails of it.
lot of
So
fields to fill out. That's
yeah,
probably where you're like, oh shit, this is going to be some work. It's
yeah,
not like the
okay,
market segmenter where you put
right.
one thing in and it does its magic.
Yeah, okay. Okay, and what does that do then? It comes up with a script or does it comes up with a slide?
It'll write your entire webinar script.
The script, but not the slides, is that right?
Correct. Yeah, it's
You got
just for the content, the text part.
it. Okay, I will definitely do that and then compare it with what I already have and
Yeah,
combine the best of the best then.
yeah,
So that's
absolutely.
very timely.
But I would be really interested to see, quality wise how it compares to what you did yourself.
Right. I'll be interested to see that as well.
I can
And
assure you
then
it's going to beat you on time.
I guarantee that much because, man, let me tell you what, drafting that damn webinar, that
Yeah,
took a long freaking time. Even with using AI tools, it still took a long time to
yeah.
do.
Well, if you come back and you tell me, holy shit, this thing did a better webinar than I
Wow.
did on using all my efforts, and it did it in a fraction of the time, that's a testimonial I want.
Okay, I will do that then. Thank you for that suggestion, John. I would not have thought of that. And
Yeah.
then the next step would be doing Facebook ads. And I guess are there quantum tools for that?
There's not particularly a quantum tool for that currently, but there easily could be.
Uh-huh.
Like
And there is
that's,
the hooks and things that are kind of similar to that.
yeah, yeah, but specific to Facebook, um, I if you can give me like the parameters of what you want,
Okay.
I can go in there and vibe code a tool up. And
Oh
this is
wow.
like for any of you that are doing white label, you could do this. You can go in there and you can create any tools you want. Like if you
Mhm.
want to serve people that are running ads for Facebook and Instagram, you can go in there and build a set of tools for them. You could build a meme generator, an idea generator, put in one ad and have it create 30 different variations of it.
Mhm.
There's any number of tools that could be built using the God mode in the white label of quantum.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will do that then. So then my assignments are use the quantum webinar creator and see what it comes up with.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And then I haven't gone through the training module of the Facebook ad, but I'll do that and then give you some parameters. And then you might
Yeah.
want to vibe code a specific tool for that, is what you're saying. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. I'd be happy to do that. And then you can test
Woo.
it, give me your feedback. And I mean, it
Heck yeah.
literally take me about 5 minutes to do that.
All right. And that may have some legs to it too. So good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 90% of the tools inside quantum, outside of the ACT tools, the ACT tools, that was very specific. I built those for ACT. But 90% of the tools outside the ACT box were made by people that said, hey, can it do this? And I'm
Hmm.
like, well, give me 10 minutes and oh, yeah, go ahead and test it. Is that what you
Right.
wanted? That's
Right.
how
Cool.
most of them got in there.
Awesome. Awesome. Very good. All right. Awesome. Thank you, John.
All right, you got it. Jerry, go back to you.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you your thoughts about this as far as, my audience are coaches, people who want to build their coaching practice and business. We remember that when I was at your workshop. And one of the things that I was thinking about doing was with the white label that I have with you is if I were to offer like do it yourself stuff, but then also offer done for you where I would create the webinar for these people who haven't done it before, or they don't want to do it, or they
Sure,
don't, want to take the time. And then I could offer it as a higher end, I don't know what price yet, but I'm just thinking about
sure.
that possibility and what you thought about that.
Yeah, if you want to do that, just don't put the webinar tool in your white label.
Mm-hmm.
Just put a link in there. You can put a link to, hey, I'll build your webinar for you for X amount, or, some kind of a charter program where you're testing it out, a beta program.
Mm-hmm.
And then just use the one in Quantum that they don't have access to and build it and sell it to them.
Okay.
That
And
would
then,
be another tool I think would be really good for you. You know how
okay.
I have the market segmenter tool?
Right.
You could either take that and rebrand it, or I think probably better to create a whole new tool based around their coaching. Like if you're training a coach, let them find out where the money is in their coaching expertise.
Mm-hmm.
Like Mike, his expertise is in NLP. So if he were going to be an NLP trainer, that tool could go in there and say, where's the biggest money opportunities in focusing my training? And it
Okay.
might tell him, hey, practitioner training is by far and away the most profit is here. And you could do that like for any niche.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the profit? Where's the money? That way they don't spin their wheels and they can build their business around where the profit is.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a great tool.
Well, I mean, I've actually done that with your market segment tool and Build a
Mhm.
Buyer myself. So, and I've
Yeah,
done several iterations of it.
yeah, absolutely. But you could brand that like to the coaching business
Mm-hmm.
specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where are
Yeah.
the coaching opportunities? Where's the
Okay.
profit?
Okay. And well, I teach a certain model of coaching. It's sort of a blended model, and I do have NLP. I'm an NLP practitioner myself and trained in that methodology, but I
Mhm.
also teach something called appreciative coaching, and it's based on a methodology that I've learned for many years and taught for many years, and also incorporating story and storytelling. So I could
Yeah.
probably create my own set of tools around that and a way to train them because I'm working on an online course right now using the AI tools. And, I've generated a lot of information. Now I've got to sort it through all of it and, make it happen now.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's perfect for that. And I just wanted to let you know we got your cards the other day, so thank you for that. That's really cool.
You're welcome. It was a great weekend. I really appreciate both you and Barb and what you all offered.
Yeah, she couldn't believe you sent her one individually. She was all excited about that, so that was really
Great.
cool.
Hey, Travis,
Well,
can
I
you
did.
eliminate the sharing?
Yeah. Oh, say it again.
Get rid of your sharing.
Oh, are you guys all looking at my screen right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're watching you do your laundry.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with the short code. All right, well, is somebody in the middle of an active question? Because I managed to pull this up.
Was that it for you, Jerry?
Yeah, I think so for now. Thank you.
Okay. All right, we're back to you, Travis.
All right, cool. So I got the initial scan here, or at least I can see the progress. Oh wait, no, it's this one. So how do I see now on this particular page what the AI data is, what the AI schema is that was created?
Oh, that stuff's going to be in the reports section.
Oh God.
So you'd
Oh,
have to go to the reports section, and the report is most of those reports are absolutely enormous because it's got all the data for every page, and you scroll down, find the page, and probably
got
easiest
it.
just to do a search on it, and then you can see the schema and all that stuff in there.
All right. All right, cool. All right, well, I'll stop my page. Shit, you guys are interested in my lightning fast optimized press editing.
I think Richard liked watching your process over there.
All right.
I didn't notice, Richard. Was he using Tide or what detergent? All right. Anybody else? Any other stuff? I know we've covered, a lot of different things here. Might seem like it was a little scrambled, but hey, we're making an omelet, so we got to break some eggs. All right. Well, cool. I'm going to need some help from you guys. If that is okay. I have an ask of you guys. If if any of you want to be part of a live thing that I do, like with, 4 to 6 people, either on my boat or at my house, email me and let me know what you want to learn and what dates would be best for you. Because this is one of my weaknesses. I suck at picking dates. If I pick a date and a topic, no one will show up. If someone else picks it, it'll fill out. I've This has been going on for 20 years. So that's my ask. If there's anything in particular that you want, like a white label training or, maybe Optimancer training, like how to run a business on that or, whatever you want, just let me know. We can do like 2 to 3 solid days on that topic and let me know when is good. I know some of you travel from long away, so I would rather let you tell me what's good for you than me pick dates and force you into it. So
What side of the country you live on?
I am in sunny California.
Oh, see, I'm in Buffalo, New York. So
Oh, so yeah, so you might want to come see me just about any time.
no, I'm saying that'll be a whole savings account to get over there.
Oh, I can I chime in on that comment of Arba?
Sure.
When I was in real estate studies 20, 30 years ago, Buffalo came up as one of the case studies for real estate, and it was known as the capital of snowdrifts. Does that really
Okay.
apply? They get that's that much snow out there?
Yes.
Okay, and then they weren't lying. Thank you.
You
I
don't
Here,
mean,
even need Chat GPT to get that answer.
oh,
here's
I know. You're
another
living
thing
there.
too that
I get it live.
yeah, here's another thing too that I am totally open to. It doesn't have to be in person. If you guys want an event and you want to do it on Zoom and we just, spend 2 or 3 days going through stuff, um, I can tell you you won't get as much out of it because you'll be distracted. If
Yeah.
you're on Zoom, Zoom is great and we can record it and all that, but you won't have the same level of intensity if you're sitting in the room with me.
No, I would love an in person. That's why I was just trying to get my bearings straight for what side of
Yeah.
town, what side of the country.
Yeah.
I'd be better to go to another country. I could get quicker to another country than I could to
Oh,
get to you.
hey,
Ah, Ahmed got that joke. That was meaning
I
I
have
could get to
actually
Canada.
I
I
have
could get to
actually
Canada
done
quicker.
stuff where we'll go do a fishing trip in Mexico and we'll spend a day or two doing training and then we'll go fishing in Mexico and that's some cool stuff too. But
Yeah.
Which part of California, by the way?
I'm in Huntington Beach, California.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you're really south.
Yeah, and the boat is in Long Beach, so we usually leave out of Long Beach if it's a boating trip. But I am all for if somebody wants to go do a Baja fishing trip, we can go meet in Mexico. I'd be all about it. I've got
Alva,
all
let's
the
drive together.
resources. Yeah, I've got all the resources to make that happen. So that's the thing. I want to hear from you guys. What do you want? What do you want to do? You want to go, on a destination training? You want to go on my boat to Catalina or wherever or at my house or on Zoom. I want to do what you want. I'm here for you guys. I'm not here to, say here's the agenda and you like it or, take it or leave it. I would much rather do whatever you want.
So, John, any topics up for grabs then? We can suggest anything.
Yeah, anything you want.
Do you know how you're going to price it?
It depends on what type of thing it is. Like obviously going to the boat to Catalina is going to be more expensive than doing it at my house or, if we go to a destination or whatever, or if we do it on Zoom. Because the in-person stuff, I really want to keep that small. I want to keep that like, probably 4 to 6 people at the max. If we do Zoom, we can do an unlimited amount. So, but like at the house, what I think I offered that for $1,000 for 3 days. If it were on the boat at Catalina, it'd probably be roughly double that. Or if we were going to do a destination thing. So, I mean, it's not that much, a few $100 a day to have a full day, face to face. It's not crazy amounts like some of these guys are charging. There's a lot of people out there that are, oh, they're going to charge you 10 grand a day. So, you'd be at $30,000 for that kind of an event. I don't do that. I'm not into shearing the flock. That's not what I'm all about. Obviously, I got to make it, worth my while, but it's not really about the money for me.
It's all about results.
Yes, yes, we're all about the results. And I wanted to just give some kudos here. I didn't forget. I was just waiting for the right time, but Janie, you just opened the window. I wanted to give some kudos to Janie because I finally went to her and partook in her services, which I don't know why I waited so long. It was absolutely phenomenal. She does body
You were
work.
busy.
Yeah, she does great body work. If any of you are near her and she's in Long Beach, I would highly recommend you schedule some time and see what she's got to offer because it was awesome. And
We can also do remote healing too.
okay, and I will be back for sure.
It's teamwork, John.
Yeah, yeah, awesome. So cool stuff. All right. Anything else before we wrap up here? But like I said, if any of you guys can think of something you want me to do, let me know. Shoot me an email. It's john@internetdominators.com. And I would love to put that together for you. Because, like I said, I want to do more of these this year. And the sooner the better. I'm going to fill my schedule up. So we got to get them in there. If you got dates you want to come, let me get them on the calendar. So. All right, guys. Well, that is all I got for you this week. I think you got enough to play with for a week, and I'm going to keep on sharpening the sword over here for everybody. And I got my grinder wheel running high speed right now. All
Hi,
right.
Captain. Is that another shore?
All right. Well, have a great week, everybody, and we will see you all next week.
Thanks,
Blessings,
John.
everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye now. Thanks, guys.